Okay, so this video pretty much has it all. We're going to talk about heavy rains. We're going to talk about fertilizing, talking about cutting grass, some of the problems you'll have. I'm going to show you the absolutely insane squash garden, what's going on up here in the gardens. I have a security camera go bad because of bugs. This is the second time I've had, not the same one, a different manufacturer, camera go bad. This video has sex, it has violence, it has passion, it has romance, it has it all. Not really. There we go. Gee, I hope we get some rain today. Dude, every day we've had friggin' rain. Whether it's 3/10 of an inch or a full inch of rain, every day some kind of storm comes through here. Today, up front, I'm gonna address the issue of what happens when you can't cut and you can't fertilize because of this rain pattern that we've got. Then, the wife is leaving. She's going down to the beach house with the girls today. She's going to meet some family down there. Bachelor time, break out the party. So anyways, I'll be here alone, busting my butt. I'm just going to take you around and just drag a camera around with me today because I got a bunch of stuff to do. So if you're bored, you want something to watch this. If not, go watch US Open or whatever you want to watch. Now, this mainly has to do with people that have a clay-rich soil. Clay soil has silt and silicates. It's almost like a platelet. And when it starts to wet and it gets saturated, those platelets lock up. And you go from an infiltration rate, in other words, absorption rate. You have your infiltration rate is way up here when it's dry, and it very quickly goes down. So the problem is trying to fertilize. So if you use a slow-release fertilizer, slow-release fertilizers sit on the surface, and as it rains, it melts. And as it rains more, it melts more. But the problem is, when your soil locks up, that's when you're going to get runoff. So this is a perfect time to look for windows. It's just like trying to cut your grass. We haven't been able to cut grass out here for 2 days, and yesterday we had 7 hours of sunshine, and I'm out here all by myself. So I grabbed the Toro and I cut everything with that big Toro. This looks kind of crappy right now, but the Toro actually did a pretty good job. A 60-inch Toro zero turn, cutting it 2 inches, and this is bumpy like this, and it's on a slant. It doesn't look horrible for doing that. So I had to cut this, the huge lawn behind the house, this area over here, this area here. Man, I was just screaming with that Toro, saying, okay, that's my window. Now, when it comes to fertilizers, that same thing applies. Let's say all of a sudden, all day long, you have sunshine and maybe there's a chance of a thunderstorm at night. This is when you can do spoon feeding with a fast release fertilizer. So you can put down either a green shocker or Lawn Alive. Now, I've been really using Lawn Alive, especially down the beach house. Man, that lawn looks incredible. And I hit that day after day after day with some Lawn Alive because I only had 2 weeks to fix that lawn, and it looks fantastic. But this is something you can come out here and you can spray Lawn Alive out here at sunset, let the rain come in, and what's going to happen when that soil is dry at the top and rain starts to fall, the first thing that's going to go into that soil is the initial rain and that fertilizer. And then once it locks up, it's going to be locked in there, and then runoff is going to be okay. So think about when you get into this rain pattern, number one, hold off a little bit until we get normalized for adding any slow release fertilizer, get into a normal pattern, which is probably coming next week. But spoon feeding, man, you can go out and hit this lawn with Lawn Alive or Green Shocker, and it's fantastic. Cutting, what happens when your lawn, you haven't been able to cut your lawn, and you're trying to keep your lawn, let's say you're keeping your lawn real short, 3/4 of an inch or something, or an inch, and you haven't been able to cut, it grows and grows and grows and grows. What do? Don't worry about it. Especially if you have a Bermuda or zoysia, take it down in stages, take it down and take it back down. You can't kill Bermuda. I mean, you really can't kill Bermuda. So don't worry. Go ahead and take it down in stages and recut it down lower and start over again. It's that restart. Lots of times on our old lawn, we would do a summer scalp. So over the months, as you're cutting and cutting and cutting, you start to get these brown patches, and just scalp it all down and start over again. Let it go, take it all the way down and come back up. We do that several times a year. If I don't like the way my lawn looks because I've got brown stalks on the end of the Bermuda and it's looking weird, I'll take it down and start all over again. The only time you don't want to do that is when temperatures start to drop in the fall. late summer, early fall, that's when you don't want to do it. But anytime while it's hot, if you got irrigation, you can take it down. So remember, slow release fertilizers, we use them, we put them down all the time. But right now, I'm not putting it down until this rain pattern breaks every single day. It's 3/10 of an inch or a full inch every single day. I really hope we don't get a big wind event, because if we get a big wind event in the southeast, with all this saturated soil, man, we could lose a ton of trees. We lost 21 trees in a thunderstorm 2 years ago, and that's not fun. Every day I'm coming out here emptying my rain gauge, and I'm getting anywhere from 2/10 of an inch all the way up to a full inch every single day. This is crazy. So let's release the hounds. Go. You guys know where it is. Hey Johnny, you coming? Come on, Johnny. Come on, buddy. Go get your food. Go get your food. Okay, so garden's over here, new building here. This is that new huge squash garden we put in. Now around the edges we planted corn. And look at that corn. These corn stalks that have the tassel on the top, they gotta be 9 feet tall. Look at that. Man, that's just been days. That is crazy. Look how tall that is. I mean, here I am. And that's a sunflower. I only have a couple sunflowers. Look at this jungle. Dude, look at that. Is this crazy or what? I have no idea. This is going to double in thickness, and I have no idea how we're going to get in here and harvest all this. So I love butternut squash. You can see butternut squash right there. Butternut squash, butternut. There's a lot of butter. Butternut's a very aggressive grower. Now this is a Hubbard. See that little one? That's a Hubbard. And man, there's just butternuts all through here. And there's a couple big Hubbards, but look at this. This is one of the reasons why we thought we were going to go ahead and trellis next year. Thank God I got permethrin on me. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that Hubbard growing on the fence. Look at that thing. Huge amount of squash, all kinds of tomatoes. The tomatoes are just crazy. 51 tomato plants. And you can see what I've got here. I'm trying to find it for you. But I've had this camera up there for 3 years. And a couple days ago, I started getting all these weird notifications. And I looked and the lenses fogged up, and you know what happened? There is some kind of little bug made a nest inside that camera. When I took it off, I put it in my car, brought it in on the kitchen counter because I'm going to replace it, and all these little, I ran outside, I sprayed this whole thing with permethrin. Come on out, show yourself, bugs. Man, there was a bunch of them in there. I don't know what kind of bug it is. So anyways, that camera's trashed. So I went ahead and got a replacement after 3 years. This is my artificial intelligence. I have 3 full videos on these cameras. This one is cellular, so it goes at my front gate, and it does not need Wi-Fi. It talks over a cellular network. It's a 4K, and it has artificial intelligence, AI, and it'll tell me. I get an alert on my watch, and on my phone, and it says a vehicle detected at your gate, a person detected at your gate, or animal detected at your gate. So let's say, for example, I don't want to detect animals because I got deer going every night out of my gate. I can turn that off, and I can just go ahead and just select vehicles and people. The amount of customization on these things is incredible. They are fantastic, and unfortunately, they're not dirt cheap. So that was a lesson learned. Now I have the same issue on 2 of my blink cameras over here. I have spider webs on them. So at night when a deer walks by, it comes up and all I see is spider webs, or a spider will come across. If you have security cameras outside like this, get a bottle with permethrin. Cover the lens, spray the back of the camera, and spray all around the tree. And you're gonna have to do that at least maybe once a month, every 2 months, in the summertime at least, not necessarily in the wintertime. Man, there's humidity. All right, so I'm up at my front gate. Car's going by here soon. I think I figured out the culprit. Excuse me. So there is a big vine that's growing around this tree, and that vine has like thousands of these little holes. So I soaked that vine for about 6 feet, and I sprayed all around the camera. I actually sprayed the camera, not the lens. And you can see I've got the solar panel up here. Even though there's leaves, it gets plenty of charging time, and the camera here. So I'm going to pull it up and we'll test it. The key to this, remember, if someone wants to steal that camera, they're going to be recorded on my phone. So by the time they get up there and steal that thing, I'll have their face right on the thing. So I don't care. Yeah. Motion detected from gate. So it caught me backing up, and it also came up on my watch. And when I touch it on my watch, it'll tell me detected. Now I want to see if it'll track me. I always test them. All right, so that time it tracked me. Actually, what I had to do is I had to turn the vehicle and the person sensitivity up. I turned it up to 90% on that. So I don't have any internet. I got 1 bar of 5G. I'm trying to pull up video. So I'm gonna go hit the play button because it's a 4K. So let's see here. So this one here, there it is, tracking me. Yep, tracked me perfectly. All right, let's look at the next one. Let's look at the next one. Yep, it shifted and tracked. Yep, shifted and tracked. Perfect. Oh, don't do that. Seems like every time I shut the camera off, the fish want to bite. Aren't they beautiful? They're just so healthy in this pond. I have such a healthy, I'm so happy with this population of fish. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Be free, my friend. All right, so it's this is the weather pattern that we're in right now, and we're going to be in this probably for a while. Extremely hot, close to 90 degrees. Humidity, humidity is going to be 70 to 100%. It's stifling out here. And then late afternoon, you get these thunderstorms, or in the evening, thunderstorms move in. So that's what's going to happen. I broke out the Big McLean. Now this is the what do they call this? This is that super low cut series. Has the big Honda on it, and it's adjustable from, this one is adjustable from 1/8 of an inch all the way up to almost 2 inches. And the backyard I sort of had given up on until I redo it. I'm just sort of leaving it, just throwing a little fertilizer on it. Man, let me tell you what, it really cutting it with that McLean, it really doesn't look that bad. The problem I've got is I've got these depression spots, and the grass is just dying inside these depression spots. But overall, man, that looks pretty good. Crazy. I was in here cutting this with the toe behind cutter just a few days ago, and that corn was probably eye level, and there were no tassels. Now the tassel is the pollinator thing on the top for the corn, and look at this, man. I mean, just 4 or 5 days, this shoots right up. Look at that. Look at all the tassels. And this is, you tap it, you'll see the pollen come off. And this is how tall it is. What's that? Some of these things are getting up close to 7, 8, maybe even 9 feet. And then I've got baby corn. You can see right in here. I got baby corn showing up all through here. This is fun. So what we did this year, we left a 6-foot space in here, which now tightened up. The corn is for cover and for food for the deer. We're going to leave this standing. And then in between, I've got clover. I did have buckwheat, and I'm putting down chicory. I cut this in between here was getting like 2 feet tall, so I went ahead and cut it down low, and I'm doing a little bit of reseeding. But these graze lanes for the deer, they give them comfort. Now I had to be real careful. I was driving about 2 or 3 miles an hour because I knew that there'd be a baby hidden in here, and sure enough, it was 2 of them up here, jumped up and ran off. And I'm like, dude, I did not want to chop up one of my baby deer, so I had to be real careful. But this gives them the comfort instead of having an open field. Now, chicken coop 2.0, the new chickens will be here in a few weeks. 15 new birds, they'll be inside here. There's the other girls. I think I'm going to feed them. But man, let me tell you what. So herbs and carrots, lettuce over here. We just pulled all the beans off of here. It was crazy, full of beans. Rachel harvested a whole 5-gallon bucket full of beans. And the reason being is they hear me, so they come running. The reason why I did that was it's too hard to harvest them and share them. And no one's coming over here and picking them. But everybody wants my cucumbers. So I said, let's get rid of the green beans. We pulled all those, and we just replanted. We replanted cucumbers and cucumbers where the beans were, because I've got cucumbers here on the trellises, and it works out really well. You can see the cucumber hanging here. I really like the trellis systems. If you guys don't have trellises, get some. Like, look at this over here. Look at all these cucumbers. Cucumber, 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 cucumbers. Then we've got all kinds of zucchini and squashes. Tomato plants, like I said, I showed you before, they're just crazy. Tomatoes have to have sunlight to ripen. If there's no sun, they won't ripen. And for the past 2 days, we've gotten sun, and look what's happened. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? That's just nuts. Now, someone's going to ask, Doc, why do you let your zucchini and squash get so big? Let me show you, give you an example. Look at the size. Look at this. Look at that zucchini there. Monsters. Monsters. I'll pull small zucchinis and squashes and give them to people to eat. But I like some to get big, because what I do, is I cut them in half and give them to the chickens, and they eat. They love the seeds, and they'll strip out that whole zucchini or squash. They love it. So every afternoon I give them a little bit of clover and some of the zucchini. Yes, they're spoiled. Man, look at these monsters. I got some nice tomatoes. Look at that. Look at the size of that tomato. Beautiful. Thank God it seems like our fungus sort of settled down, but dude, I've got way too many jalapenos. I mean, these are all, look at this. Every plant has probably, I would say, every plant, I'm just gonna get one off for you. I would say every plant has 15 of those on it at least. And then the green peppers are just starting to pop. So what we're gonna do, Rachel will be back out Wednesday, and we're gonna pull this aside. We're gonna top dress super compost, and then if we can get a dry day, and then we'll shoot it down with water. We planted all, that's a grapevine way over there, and we just put in 8 more grapevines along the side here. Chickens are screaming at me. So anyways, that's where we are, man. The rain has been fantastic in here. It does with the humidity. We do have to battle some of this right here. Rachel will have to work on this Wednesday. Start to get some of that blight and some of that fungus in here, but the tomatoes are looking good. Now I always plant indeterminate, and basically we can keep stripping all that fungus off, and these tomato plants will grow way up. I mean, they'll produce all the way into sometimes beginning of November, as long as we don't get a freeze and as long as we got sun. But here's the funny note. The funny thing is, we spent all this time and money putting in these big irrigation heads and running this whole big irrigation system here. This whole garden can be watered from the pond. All my fields can be watered from the pond, and it hasn't stopped raining in, what, 4 weeks? I haven't had to, we tried to turn it on twice. Look at this. Look at that corn. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. That's pretty cool how that grows like that. This was just a corn stalk that happened to be in the, and she didn't want to pull it, so I left it in here. Anyways, guys, just a little update. I got a lot of videos coming out. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Oh, I'm gonna eat a cherry tomato while I'm out here. Oh my goodness. Wow. Holy cow. Oh, it actually kicks you back. They're so powerful with flavor. That one little cherry tomato, I swear, fresh tomatoes, that one little cherry tomato has more flavor than a whole tomato you buy at a supermarket. If you don't grow tomatoes at home, grow some. I just got some bread coming in today from Walmart because I want to have some BLTs. All right. Let's get out of this heat. I'll talk to you later, Doc.